Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are updating the BMW M3 E46 coilover suspension. Let's get into today's video. Today's video is brought to you by Fortune Auto Suspension. Hand-built suspension for all your automotive needs. One of my favorite features of the Fortune Auto coilover is that it's all modular, so you can literally replace any section of the coilover if anything ever should happen. So thank you guys, Fortune Auto, for sponsoring today's video. All right guys, so just like I said, we're gonna go ahead and replace the coilovers on the E46 M3 with some brand new Fortune Auto coilovers. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring today's video. We are gonna go ahead and start with that. Not only are we gonna do that, but we're also gonna go ahead and replace the rotors and pads, give it some much needed replacement parts, because this thing is literally a bucket. Might look nice, but it's gonna need a lot of work here in the future. So today we're starting with the coilovers. We're gonna do the brakes. Let's get to it. All right guys, so here is the package from Fortune Auto. It comes with our certificate of assembly, gave us a couple goodies, and let's take a look at coilovers, guys. Superior quality, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the nicest suspension I've ever had in my life. I'm super excited to throw these on and get a much better ride that this car has so desperately needed. Let's go ahead and pull them all out. On top of doing the coilover swap over, we are also changing out the rotors and the pads. I went ahead and ordered some rotors through Amazon. So that's gonna be a questionable repair that I'm doing because I've never really ordered any rotors through Amazon, but I really wanted some slotted rotors. These look pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and try them out. Hopefully they fit, because I've never really ordered auto parts through Amazon. Much more of an eBay guy myself. As you guys can see, this area needs some much needed love, but we are repairing one section at a time. So right now, we're gonna go ahead and throw in this very beautiful Fortune Auto coilover, full top hat, full adjustable camber adjustments with the pillow ball mounts, fully adjustable. I'm super excited just to feel the difference with this coilover versus what we used to have. All right guys, we're gonna go ahead and drop the old coilover suspension and install the new Fortune Auto stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and drop that, as well as replace the rotor and the brake pad. And we've already loosened up the top hat, so this is pretty much ready just to swap out. All right, so this is you, and this is the guy that she told you not to worry about. Look at the thickness. Now that we went ahead and removed the shock, we're gonna go ahead and drop this spring here, and it looks like everything's gonna come with it, the rubber and the adjustment mechanisms. It's pretty much all loose. And so this is what was my adjustability on the last coilover setup. And these things were all beat to crap. The rubber was all beat up. So we have a new end right over here with new rubbers and grommets and so on and so forth. So this is gonna provide us with a whole lot more adjustability, because even the top hats are adjustable on this one as well. All right guys, now that the old stuff is out, we're gonna go ahead and put our new spring and our new shock in. Fortune Auto, looking so sexy. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop in this spring. There is a washer that goes on the underside that tightens up the suspension right there. So this is gonna drop in like so. I got it to here. Gonna try to have the Fortune Auto send there. There is a gasket that goes on there. Here's the gasket. This goes up here. There you go. So that's gonna go right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and put the shock up here. Gonna go ahead and make sure it's in the proper hole. And then from there, once I get it tied up, we gotta throw the bolt through this shock hole right here. All right, before we go ahead and tighten up the coilover, I'm gonna go ahead and start loosening up calipers, so we can go ahead and loosen up the calipers so we can go ahead and remove our rotor kind of all in the same area. And this thing's gonna be driving like a whole different car when we're all done braking and driving. So it's pretty exciting times here. All right, now that we loosened up our caliper, we're gonna pop the hardware out, pop that out, and this should drop like so. Here are our pads. This is what I was riding on, guys. Literally nothing left. Literally getting every dollar worth of brake. And there's the rest of the caliper. So in theory now, this is the old, so out with the old and in with the new. And this says the rear driver's side, so I suggest, I'm hoping that it goes on nice and smooth. Line it up, and that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt everything back. Now, usually I would clean these up, paint them up real nice, but kind of in a rush here. This is my ride home, so I gotta get this thing done today. So I'm gonna go ahead and mock this thing back up like so. Here we have the new rotor coilover, and everything is good, so we're done with the backside. We're gonna go ahead and get everything else put on the car so we can go ahead and get this thing down on the ground. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start dropping the old suspension and replacing it with a brand new Fortunato coilover. Got already the caliper off because we are gonna go ahead and replace the rotors at the same time and new brake pads. So let's go ahead and drop it. Because we already pretty much had everything ready, it was really easy to come off. So now I just gotta go ahead and loosen up the top hat. Here she is. This is the old D2 coilover. You know, I definitely, not the worst, but definitely not the best. And we got the best here, Fortunato. We're gonna go ahead and put that new one on. We're gonna go ahead and drop in our new Fortunato coilover. Cool thing is that the Fortunato provides you with new hardware as well. That the top hat is hand tight. We're gonna go ahead and tighten them up. And after we go ahead and just hit it with the Ugga Dugga, we're gonna go ahead and torque them down to make sure that they are to spec. Now that the hardware for the rotor is ready to come off, I'm gonna switch out the rotor. All right, so it looks like we have almost a little bit more than 26 and a half, 26 and 3/4 looks like on this side. So let's go ahead and measure the other side. This side needs some serious camber adjustment compared to the other side, but we're at 27. So this side needs to get adjusted a little bit more. And I know that after we drive it, these things are gonna move around and we're gonna have to go ahead and readjust them. But right here, as you guys can see, that we're a little bit off, so we're gonna make a little bit of an adjustment. Let's go ahead and measure the rear. So right here, we are about at 25 and a half. We're gonna go ahead and measure the other side and see what it looks like. And this side is a little off, a little bit less than the half. So we gotta make some adjustments here on both sides, this driver's side rear and the passenger side front. All right, so the next thing that we gotta do is we gotta adjust the camber on both shock towers. And in order to do that, gotta loosen that up and see where it's gonna sit. So right now what we're gonna do is take it 100% off the lift, check the turning radius on it, and then from there we're gonna adjust the camber as see fit. Then from there we'll take it to the line. All right guys, fast forward about a week's time while driving on the Fortunato coilovers. I gotta say, this is literally the best suspension I've ever had on any one of my cars. I had over a dozen cars with all different types of suspension, and this has to be the best ride you can get, best ride money can buy. One thing I gotta say is the quality that Fortunato has is second to none. The craftsmanship and the coilover look far superior than anything that I've installed on vehicles. It's made right here in the US of A with quality parts that are built to your spec. They're not just off-the-shelf coilovers that fit everyone's need. These are custom built to your spec. Definitely testified to that from Fortunato. I contacted him regarding my set of coilovers. He also had an E46 M3 and kind of asked me how I would be driving the car. I told him I'd do a little bit of tracks, but mostly all daily driving, a little bit of spirited driving here and there. And I feel that he dialed in my needs perfectly. Like I said, it drives like a dream. Before, this car was low and everything, but it really didn't drive that good. It was kind of like a very bad driving experience. I didn't really enjoy it. It looked cool, got a bunch of compliments, but it just didn't drive right. And as soon as I threw these coilovers on, like day and night difference, guys. Like if you're really a true enthusiast and want the best, I could literally say look no further than Fortunato, because they are the best when it comes to hand-built suspensions. It's a modular suspension, so if like anything breaks off, or I mean, not that it would, but like if anything blew or anything like that, you could literally replace portions of the coilover and rebuild it back up, and you don't have to buy a whole new set of coilovers. Most companies won't do that because they don't offer custom builds like Fortunato does. So I definitely recommend them for any of your suspension needs. If you really care and love about your car, you plan on keeping it, which I am with this project. That's why I went with Fortunato. Huge shout out to Fortunato. If you're looking to get a set for your car, I'm gonna go ahead and drop my discount code right here. Let them know that Oscar sent you. Huge shout out to Fortunato, Nick over there, the guys. Thank you guys for hooking up my ride. This thing drives like I dream, and I wish I would have done it sooner. Thank you guys so much.